This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
You know, in the covered wagon days, if a baby was born in Texarkana while the family was crossing into the Lone Star State, by the time they reached El Paso, the baby would be in 3rd grade. You know, folks, inspiration lets me tell you about Texas racing and the big beat. Soft driving, slow and mad like some new language. Yes, that's COTA, born from the dust of the Texas Hill Country and ready to challenge the Kamel GT Series today. And you'll see it all live here on the Global Sim Racing Channel and the iRacing Esports Network. Hello, race fans. I'm Sean Ambrose, and with me in the booth today is Nick Schmeg. Little Nicky, my friend, Joe on assignment. I'm going to roll over and take the lead today, but behind the scenes is our director, the doctor, Amjad Yaman, and he's using cameras provided by the one and only, the great Dougie Beard. Nick, this is Texas. This is an awful big circuit. Why don't you tell us all about it?
Yeah, Sean, it's hard to believe that the press conference announcement to build a Formula One specific track in the United States was nearly a decade ago. It was July of 2010, and ground broke in a lot of land outside Austin, Texas, not too long after. Formula One returned to America in 2012 here at COTA, and it didn't take long for MotoGP, the V8 Supercar Series, IMSA, and the WEC to follow. While this track has lacked a great deal of love from many drivers, it makes up with the fans, giving some fantastic access and amenities on race day, maybe most notably that iconic 250-foot observation tower right in the middle of the track. The track itself provides some great racing as well. It all starts with a daunting 13-story climb into the Turn 1 hairpin, and from there you're blasted off downhill into a fast, tricky series of S's. After making it down to the Turn 11 hairpin, you're faced with a long straightaway and an arena-style series of double apexes. 20 turns and 5.5 kilometers or 3.5 miles later, you've made it around one lap at COTA. It's a challenging enough track to drive without dealing with all the Kamel GT traffic, and the best way to get a look at that is to lasso yourself into one of those cars for the GSRC lap guide.
All right, we've got Johnny Bell in the GSRC Nissan, so let's do a lap around Circuit of the Americas. Turn 1 always presents a challenge, despite being a popular place to pass. The crest in the braking zone and the sharp blind apex make it insanely easy to get it wrong. From there, you head back down the hill and into the S's. The first few are easily going to be flat out in the GTPX, but you've got to be careful as it progresses. The little pyramid curves at the apexes will jostle the car horribly and send you spinning in a heartbeat. Expect this to be a section where certain drivers can lose or gain a lot of time. It's tough to suss out the best line, not to mention be consistent. Eventually, it culminates in Turn 9, which has another blind apex. Don't be surprised to see a few drivers swing wide off of here. Dropping in elevation one more time, you come up to Turn 11, which offers a chance to pass. I wouldn't advise trying to overtake here, though. With this setting up the long backstretch, if you ask me, it's better to get yourself a good run and pass them on your way down to 12. Because of the incredible speeds you'll reach, this hairpin can prove tricky to nail. It also kicks off a series of slow, back-and-forth hairpins here in the stadium section. As you can imagine, this set of corners is finicky in the Nissan, which touts a nasty bit of turbo lag and awful low-speed grip. And even though it's narrow and slow, don't think you're safe from overtakes through here. Drivers frequently make surprise attacks when they spot the door open. The big problem is it tends to wind up with people tangling with one another since you come in from their blind spot. From there, you swing into the triple apexer. It won't be flat out in this car, so you'll need some throttle control to make the best of it. Then, immediately get to the right and get on the brakes for 19. The track drops away from you, really denying you the grip that you'd hope for in such a fast corner. But before you know it, you're braking for the final turn. It's critical that you avoid wheel spin or hesitating on the power because everyone's going to be trying to get a run on you for an overtake into one. But hopefully, if you've kept it all together, you've now finished a lap around Circuit of the Americas.
And there you go, a big trip around COTA, Circuit of the Americas, right here in Elroy, Texas. Elroy, a very, very small little place, a beautiful countryside. Had a friend, had a ranch just down the road from this this beautiful track, and now residing in Florida. But anyway, Nick, you know what? An amazing trip around COTA, but what's really amazing is this points championship that started out this season. We'll look at the GTP standings now. Fabian Gerber already spotted himself 50 points, 8 points ahead of Phil in and around the lake driving the Nissan this season. And, well, he's coming up the board there for Dirty Torque, and he is definitely in striking distance. John Keefe, well, he had a great run last week. He picks up a couple of spots here in the points championship, only sits 25 points behind Fabian Gerber. It's early days. As you can see, we've got a logjam back there. It's Ardo Yamaki in fourth and Martin Krejcik sitting there in fifth. Everybody all knotted up there just outside the top three. Now, let's go on to the GTP light standings. And, well, we're having a little trouble getting this rolling so far, but right now Hideki Koivitso, who's anything but light for Team EVA, sits there on top. David Sleed, the Canadian there for Tin Kamel, they're just 6 points behind. And our old friend Mike Kopak, 16 points behind in third. Nick, why don't you run us through the Audi GTO and GTU standings?
Yeah, and we actually only have 9 GTOs here today in the field, so that's going to be very interesting to watch how they play out in the field. But Rob Olenek, last week's winner at Phillip Island, he has the lead now in the GTO standings. He leads Milan Arnozzi, who was so strong and dominant last season, I should say. He's 7 points back. Dennis Neidhart is just a few more points back. Ben Laughter and Adam Lindgren, 18 and 26 points back. We also do have the GTU standings, the amateur category here for the Audis, and the situation over there also very interesting. Tied for the lead between Caden Bean and Reed Miller, 26 points for each of them. 10 points back is James Walker, who actually had the lead after Road America in week 1. It's Michael Haynes and Sergey Serbin, just 2 points behind each other in 4th and 5th right now. So very tight racing over there early in the season in points.
All right, Nick, you know, let's go over the details real quick. Then I want to talk about this track and some of the challenges it's going to prevent today. Now, this is round 3. Again, early days in this championship, so everything we just went over, it's sure to change, okay? The usual players will find their way to the top before this is done. Now, today's race, 40 minutes, just like pretty much every week here in the Kamel GT Series. They don't need to stop for fuel, so we don't have to worry about pit stops and that very, very, very long pit road here at COTA. Take that out of the equation, and there's your scoring. That's how the series is scored. This is, of course, an official series on the iRacing service, and members do join. Any member can join, but the Kamel GT Championship itself follows this scoring system here. First place will be awarded 25 points, and then you see how it goes back to P20, much like they used to do in the old NASCAR point system, which actually worked at one time. Now, Nick, let's talk about the stories of the race. Stories. Let's talk about the track, okay? Now, I was in my Audi, the GSRC Audi GTO this morning, and I got to tell you, man, off tracks in the Audi are going to be they're going to be tough because this track, well, it was the talk of the weekend last weekend for IndyCar off tracks. Much the same here in the iRacing service. You can pick up off tracks here pretty easy, Nick.
Yeah, last week at IndyCar, we didn't see the track limits enforced in a lot of areas. In iRacing, though, you can pick up those off tracks very easily. You have to keep that Audi within the track limits. And the Audi is such a heavy car to do that with. It's so hard, especially through a lot of the S's sections and the double apexes. It's so easy for your car to slide just a couple feet more to the left or right than you had anticipated going into the turn. And dealing with traffic is going to make that even worse for them.
Right, and for those not familiar with Circuit of the Americas, once you get to the top of the hill, you're making that hairpin, that left-hander, you're going all the way downhill. You come up that 300 plus feet like you talked about in the intro, Nick, and then you got to get down the hill. And that downhill ride is through a section of S's that starts at turn 3 and doesn't end until you get out of turn 9. And brother, in the Audi, it's really, really tough keeping that car within the limits. Now, this is going to be the great part of this race today, that backstretch between turn 11 and 12. Watch for some exciting passing. The Nissan and the Audis will go toe-to-toe. The Audi will get a chance to stretch its legs and show that grunt and horsepower that it's famous for heading down to turn 12, but that's the problem. Getting down to turn 12 and knowing where that braking zone is, really tough to get the car slowed down there, Nick.
Yeah, and your first time out on the track, it doesn't seem like it should be that difficult of a turn. You don't realize how sharp that left-hander there at turn 12 really is. The other factor you have is that you don't have much of a straightaway in between turns 12 and 13. Then you go into the double apex with 13 and 14, and then you're just kind of weaving left and right, and you're trying to keep your momentum up. Really hard to keep your momentum going through there, though, after being on the brakes so hard in turn 12.
And Nick, now we've talked so much about the track. Time has gotten away from me. We've just got 10 seconds left in qualifying right now. We've barely even talked about that. I talked about usual players. Well, they're there. Arto Yamaki right now on the pole for Finland. And in the Nissans, you go back to the Audis, and, well, it's Rob Olenek, the New Englander, on the pole currently as qualifying is starting to wrap up. We'll be going to the grid here in a moment. But I look for an exciting race. We've only got 25 in the field today, a strength of field just south of 2,500. So very, very competitive race we've got in store for you here today at Circuit of the Americas. Should be fresh on everybody's mind, as we talked about. The IndyCar was here last weekend. Our director, Amjad Yaman, got to spend a little time there and had a little bit of fun. And our old friend James Krahula, several of the GSRC staff got to make their trip down Dakota. I've been here a couple of times and just absolutely love this track. I know it has its detractors, Nick, but I am not one of them. And even got to see my brother wreck a car here. So, John, I hope you're feeling well. No, he's fine. But certainly exciting times here in Texas. And, well, the Porsche pace car, the Porsche safety car. Heard this debate last night on the majors coverage of the international region. Okay, so when it's an oval, it's a pace car. When it's a road circuit, it's a safety car. So, Nick, any opinions on that?
I would have also made the mistake of calling it a pace car, but I'm the oval kid. You know, I'm a traditionalist when it comes to that.
Well, as I look at the front end of that safety car, it says safety car. So we've settled the debate. Here we go. Now we'll get a short pace lap here, and then we'll cut them. Well, I say short. Actually, they're going to start on the backstretch here as the safety car rolls off now. Arto Yamaki on the pole. Fabian Gerber going to round out row 1. Row 2 going to be Jamie Hall and Phil in and around the lake. Row 3, Luis Emerton and Fabian Jungbluth with that 6th place starting spot today. Watch him. Stephen Warkup will start 7th. Martin Krejcik 8th. Go to row 5. It's David Sanchez and John Keefe in row 5. Then we go to row 6. There you'll find Johnny Bell and Hideki Koivitso. Row 7, Donald Peak and Andy Kenworthy. And that rounds out your Nissan field. Nick, go.
It's a small Audi field. Rob Olenek is on top of it, though. Nick Mukanos is behind him by a long ways. Really good qualifying for Robbo there right before the race. Ove Trengrade, Tanner McCullough, and Ben Laughter round out the top 5. The next 2 drivers to set a lap, and the last 2 drivers to set a lap, are Sergey Serpin and Michael Haynes. Javier Lago and Dave Peterson are going to round out those 9 Audis without setting a lap time.
Heading through the stadium section now as we get ready to roll here, just in front of that tower that you talked about, Nick. It's also a place for good concerts there in that stadium section. Safety car rolls out of turn 19, gets ready to peel off. Arto Yamaki has the field. Waiting. That start-finish line just around the corner. And we're mean green and underway. Arto Yamaki on the hammer. Fabian Gerber drops in line. Teammates Jamie Hall filling it around the lake, side by side up to 1. That's where the stack up happens. Here we go. Oh, Jamie Hall gets the nose caught off him there by Fabian Gerber, but it looks like all of them get down the hill. No, we've got one off. That was Stephen Warcup into the wall, coming down the hill. Nick, take it.
Over in the Audis, a very clean and conservative start for everyone. Rob Olenek takes the lead. Nick Mucano slides in behind him. Everyone behind them single file as they come out of turn one. Everything looking good over here in GTOs.
Ooh, and they have gone line to stern quickly. And the Nissans here, Iamaki just a few tenths of a second in front of Fabian Gerber. And Phil Lake, Jamie Hall still back to back here. Again, everybody just dropping in line, getting through the track here. Nissan's coming out of 11, down that long back stretch into 12. This is that braking zone I talked about, Nick. They're going to have to be careful getting down here.
They will indeed, especially if the cars are on cold tires right now. Iamaki, you see there, getting hard on the brakes. Everyone's sliding through there. Looks clean so far.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you will get the wheels around coming into that braking zone. Here we go, though. Everybody's setting up for the stadium section. That's where you really want to try and get the car going. But then you've got to break it down into 19, and that can be a problem also. That's a very, very, well, it can be a very, very fast turn. It's going to be very fast in these Nissans as they watch them whip through now. It's still Ardo Iamaki with the lead. The field not spreading out much. They're covered up pretty well right now, Nate.
Yeah, they are. Good battle for second in the Nissans between Fabian Gerber and Jamie Hall. Interested to see if Jamie Hall is going to be able to step out here and get a run on him.
All right, you know, we're going to look at this Stephen Warcup replay real quick. Stephen had a problem there on the start. Got up to turn one clean, but coming down the hill, car is just going to get wicked on him. He's going to nosedive it right into the Armco barrier. Depending on the amount of damage on that Armco barrier, that could be as much as about a $3,000 invoice they'll send you for that here at COTA. Oh, and he crunches it hard, knocks the nose off of it, and unfortunately, that's going to be it for Stephen Warcup today. So our first casualty right there on the opening lap, but the battle up front still pretty intense. Iamaki not pulled away that much, just over a second here. The battle behind him still rages on. Phil, Jamie Hall, seems like to be they're taking their time here at the moment. Both of them making that switch to the Nissans this season out of the Audis. And they found a good dance partner there behind Fabian Gerber.
Yeah, I think they know just how chaotic some of these sections of the track are going to get. That being said, looks like Phil Lake was starting to take a peek around Fabian Gerber there. Never made it happen.
So right now, Warcup, the only casualty so far in this race. And I got to be honest, we've got a small Audi field today. Small field in the GTOs. Only 8 or 9 of them here, I think. 9 of them to be exact. And right now, they're all still pretty well close to each other. 3 wide on screen as they come down. This is that backstretch that we talked about. Here we go. Who gets there first, Nick?
Nick Mucano's got an awful run out of the corner. He had to let him go by on the inside, but he is powering hard on the outside. It's so close. A little bit of contact there with the 12 of Ben Laughter, who was in the middle. Now Tanner McCullough is going to try to make a 3 wide squeeze up on the left side of him.
Tanner McCullough back with us. Got his stream going right now on Twitch. And these cars still fanning out, sliding through the turn.
Oh.
Is that Ove? Yeah, Ove Trengrade with a power drift there through the turn.
So hard to get these heavy, bulkier cars through this section of the track, and you saw it there with Ove.
Ove just hanging on, still drifting it through there. Now that comes with a cost. We know that. Now it's Ove's style. He likes to drift it around a bit, but it will beat these tires up, especially here at COTA. Weather that we haven't even talked about today, not really a big factor actually as we watch the battle on screen. Looking for the pass, going up the hill, McCullough on the inside, and he's going to back out. It's only 73 degrees today and partly cloudy, so grip shouldn't really be a factor. Beating these tires up, though, around this long circuit can be. You will get them hot quick.
Yeah, you put so much strain on them through the stadium section and even through the S's here, putting so much weight, especially in the Audis.
Yeah, the transfer of weight back and forth through these S's really, really hard on the tires. You can just feel the car sliding out from under you. Let's head back up to the Nissans here just real quick. Ardo still pacing the field at about a second ahead. Not much change there. And the battle behind him continues on. Gerber, Lake, and Hall, and they've started to stretch out for the rest of the field. It's Emerton, Youngblood, and Krejcik just behind them in their own little battle. Look at our 007 cam here on board with Fabian Gerber, looking at the chase from Phil Lake. Again, I think Lake and Hall right now, just a bit of a strategy here to just kind of lay back, take it easy. Again, a 40-minute race today. No reason to get in a big hurry here at COTA. Nick, I think we're getting the same race from both fields at the moment. It seems like Olenik's pulled out to, well, he's got about a 3-second lead right now, but everybody behind him still jockeying for position there in the top 5.
That's what it looks like. Everyone keeping it pretty calm. I can report, looks like we just had an accident between Dave Peterson and Javier Lago. This looked like it was a... Let's see if we can get a replay of this. This was some heavy contact over in the Audis.
Yeah, you know what? I think I might have picked that up. We're watching it on screen now. There's Javier Logo. I can say Javier Logo. Just got my tongue full of that. Javier coming through here. Let's see where the problem happened. Oh, okay. So he got into, that was him getting into Dave Peterson, who had already lost it. Here's Dave now. Oh, the car got real squirrely. Poor Dave. Car comes back into the track. He picks the bad time to get back on, and Lago didn't see him coming over that blind crest. That was a bit of a shocker for Lago, and now both cars look to have suffered the type of damage that probably won't get him back out here, Nick. Not anytime soon, anyway. That's heavy damage, and well, you don't get any spare cars here in the Camel GT Series.
Yeah, you definitely don't. Looks like Lago just retired. Looks like Peterson also joined him behind the wall as well. So, make that 3 casualties we've had today in the field. 2 more in the Audis. Down to 7 cars left in the GTOs.
Yeah, I was about to say the GTO field didn't need to get any thinner. I do want to thank the Camel GT community for taking it easy on me today, though. I mean, 25 cars. And sometimes we get some of these fields up at 40, 45, plus close to 50. And, well, I didn't have to deal with that here at COTA today. So, Joe, thank you. But, hey, listen, still great battling going on here in Laughter. McCullough looking for that move to the inside. Tanner's playing it smart right now. Doesn't want to beat this car up. He knows he's following a fast driver here. His way to the front is probably to just hang in there with Ben and maybe not be too aggressive.
And that was kind of his strategy to get around Ove Trengrade a couple laps ago. It worked for that.
That leaves us really with one of our closest battles on the track at the moment. Again, the Nissan's being paced right now by Imaki, who's still keeping about the same amount of difference. But Laughter and McCullough going at it, and they've got Nick Mucanos right in front of them. We really haven't had a chance to talk about much. Mucanos, great start to this race, and they're on it for P2 here in the Nissans. There we go. Phil Lake down to the inside. He's going to outbrake Gerber and take the position up to P2. Will this last long? Gerber hot on his heels. They get through 13 and down into 15. We'll go to the replay real quick. Here's how it happened. On board with Phil in and around the lake.
Ooh, little mistake there, yeah.
He gets a little bit too much of the sausage curb. And by the way, we didn't get a chance to talk about that in pre-race. Those sausage curbs, they'll take the front end off your car. Here we go. Phil going to make the pass down the long back straight. He's going to just outbrake him down into turn 12.
And Phil Lake, he's had a great start to the season. He finished 3rd at Road America, 2nd last week at Phillip Island. He's hoping to keep that momentum moving, get a win here today. But Fabian Gerber, he's won both of the races over in the Nissan, so lots of speed he just passed there.
Indeed, and now you see the Nissan starting to make their way through some of the Audi traffic now, obviously down through the S's this trip, a much faster one for the Nissans. Oh, and there's back to side by side again here. Mucanos, Laughter.
Oh, that's close. Laughter stuck on the outside there. That's going to switch back in his favor, though. McCullough right behind him as well. He's going to go on the left, just about 3 wide, as Mukanos went off track there.
That's why we love the popcorn position, but McCullough wants out of it. He's going to try and make that move from the outside. Now it's going to come back to his favor heading into 19. That's going to leave
completely on the curbing there. Oh, behind him.
Yeah, those are off tracks. Yeah, those are off tracks, indeed. I've been out there. That's not where you want to be. And boy, somehow Ben Laughter hangs on to that spot. Or I'm sorry, McConnell hangs onto that spot in front of Tanner McCullough.
Well, into turn 1. A little bit of a move from Mukanos to try to get around Laughter.
Okay, this is the battle we expected. This is the one we wanted. Watch him go down through the S's here. Always potential for someone to make a mistake.
Like that.
There it was. Nick pulling a little bit too much of that sausage curb, and boy, that car got way in the air.
Just like that, he lost that gap that he had. He was right on the back bumper of Laughter. Now McCullough all over that 8 car.
Oh, you know what I just realized isn't here? Riley Thompson's not here. How does he miss Coda? Jeez. Boy, McCullough getting a really, really good run back there. You saw it on camera. He's on it. Jamie just had a problem. Oh, no. Big trouble for Jamie Hall. And I think it happened. It started for him coming down the hill under the bridge. Here we go. Gets out of turn 1. He's coming down. I think he's going to get one of these sausage curbs.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Right here. There it is.
A couple of them.
Yep, and he hits the other one, and I know exactly what happened. That damaged the front end of the car. He couldn't steer it.
So sudden.
Yeah.
For him.
On board. You'll really get
the time, too.
You'll get a good sense of it when you're on board.
Oof. Just ripped it out from underneath him.
Yeah, really, really did. And I talked about it in the pre-race. Nick, those sausage curbs will knock the front end off this car, whether it be the Nissan or the Audi. I had my front end knocked off the Audi this morning. Both fairly low clearance cars, and well, that's what's going to happen.
All right, that was happening. We had a pass for 4th over in the Audis. Train Grade actually got around Mukanos, but Mukanos is charging back hard right now. They're still side by side through the S's.
Yeah, these two giving us quite a show right now. Now they've sorted things out here for now, but Mukanos hot on the trail here of Ove Trengrade, and he takes a look. This is one of the more challenging parts of the course right here. That uphill left-hander there, you've really got to get the car just right in the groove or you're off. And this is the braking zone. You've got to watch for. We're going to try and outbrake him into the turn. It's so sharp here. And if you hit that inside curve just right, it'll spin the car around. And obviously, good control there by Ove Trengrade. Just behind them, though, the Nissan leaders are getting ready to come through. This could get interesting quick.
Yeah,
here comes Iamaki.
Lake. Fabian Gerber not too far behind either. Brace yourselves.
Brace, yes, exactly. Brace yourselves. Yeah, we're going to have that confluence that we usually get once a week, and that's when the leaders meet the leaders. Question is, will they meet him in the right section of the track? You'd hope you get this sorted out on the backstretch, but I got to be honest with you, not looking that way. Maybe up the front stretch, we'll get it.
Iamaki already diving in hard underneath Mukanos.
And
here comes Lake.
Phil just getting it turned right, and they are going to catch him on the front stretch, but I don't think they're going to catch him before the top of the hill. Everybody's going to be in the same spot at the same time here, Nick.
This is really going to make things interesting in the hairpin and going down through the S's.
McCullough.
And Ben Laughter still ahead of him. Oh, dear.
McCullough almost makes contact with Iamaki as they got through turn 1. Now we get it sorted out. Coming down the hill through the S's. Iamaki's going to get around. Oh, and Phil Lake just barely got through there. Gerber trying to thread the needle.
They made it work.
Somehow, some way.
And no change for position in the Nissans through all of that. Phil Lake got really close up to the back of Iamaki a couple of times, but Ardo really stretched that gap out as soon as he could.
Man, and the battle for P3 in the GTOs just won't quit. They let the traffic get through, and they still just bumper to bumper here. It almost looks like a chain race.
Yeah, train grade still on the back of McCullough, trying to get any bit of slipstream they can. Luis Emerton is the next Nissan coming through. Looking there is Mucanos.
Taking a peek. That's the car, Kevin O'Keefe right behind him. I'm sorry, it's not Kevin O'Keefe. John Keefe. Wrong Keefe.
I think that's Luis Emerton. Yeah. Same paint scheme.
Yeah, thanks, man.
That'll do that to you.
Yeah. Here's the Audi guy trying to call the Nissans, right? There we go. That's why they don't let me do this, Nick. I'm privileged today. Yes, there's Luis Emerton on screen. The number 11 making his way through. Gonna make that pass clean. Again, it's all about catching somebody in the right spot. Luis able to pull that off and now get a clean run up the front stretch all the way to the top of the hill. What do you got, Nick?
Behind them, McCullough swung turn 20 really wide. Oh, he came over in the grass, but didn't let that slow him down at all. He still holds on to third place.
Yeah, and he makes he wins the race to the top of the hill. Oh, no! Is that trend grade that was off?
That's Mucanos.
Nick Mucanos, yes.
Just nailed that sausage curb there in turn 1 like you talked about.
You cut that off too much. It jumps the car up there, getting obviously, even with the four-wheel traction on these Audis, it doesn't help when all 4 of those wheels are spinning. You hit the ground again. Battle for the lead though. Iamaki, Phil Lake back at it. Now Phil's ready to make the move. Just over 20 minutes left. It's time to go.
He's definitely there. He's going to get a lot of slipstream here, too.
Yeah, not far from the front stretch here. Just a little bit to go. As they get into turn 15 here. Phil's going to get his chance as long as he can keep the momentum going here through the stadium section. Trend grade with a problem.
Oh, no.
Oh, Obe's lost it, and they're sliding behind him. There's Ove on screen. He's going to lose it here. He cuts it off, and then Martin Krajcik behind him. He got on the brakes too hard heading into the turn. His car started to go around. That's just, he just hit him. He mashed that pedal a little bit too much, Nick.
Yeah,
both get lucky. Lucky saves.
Time.
All right, back to the battle up front. Now they got up the hill. Phil Lake not able to make the pass. They come down through the S's under the Patron Bridge. Great place to watch a race from, by the way. It's also a lonely place too. There are no concessions up there, Nick. You're kind of on your own, dude. It's a long walk.
That is tough. That is tough.
Go prepared. Yeah, now we've got this. Now we've got a great battle here with the Nissans and Iamaki, Phil Lake, Fabian Gerber all stacked up now. Back the way it should be. McCullough making any progress back there, Nick?
He's definitely trying. He's still right on the back of Ben Laughter. He's got right now Martin Kraytrick splitting him. McCullough using all of the track limits.
Boy, and Kraytrick, that was a bold move, Martin, and now he gets to a spot where he's comfortable here on the backstretch. He can just scream on by, but see a little bit of the drag race. Watch how the Audi kind of hangs with him there, gets up to full song, actually starts to close. Yeah, I think if we did a super speedway race, the setups were just right. I think we'd have a pretty close battle, Nick. I've never done that. Have you?
I have not, but I think I know what I'm doing this afternoon.
Let's have a GSRC test session. Yeah, McCullough still really trying to find that. We go back up to the Nissan battle here. Again, these top three still all within arm's length of each other. The minute starting to wind down. Anticipation mounting from these drivers. Got to start like you need to start feeling like you need to make a move. A couple of really great places to get it done here, but you've got to keep yourself close enough to fill into that slipstream. I think Phil's got it, but maybe Phil just waiting. Maybe Phil needs a little bit more time to figure this out. I think he wants to make this pass stick. Really, really good run through the turn there. Down the backstretch we go.
Even if he does get by him, I don't think it's going to be easy at all to hold off Ardo Iamaki, though. He's got blood in the water from last week. He ended up getting wrecked out of Phillip Island. He definitely has some extra incentives for this week to try to get that win.
Tough week on the island last week, and well, it looks like right now it's going to get tough for Laughter and McCullough, because now they've got some traffic coming through their battle. Let's see, could this work out as an advantage for Tanner McCullough? He's been looking for something here. We get to the top of the hill. It's time to head down through the S's. They got to be careful. My bad. I was, no, I'm right. Yeah, they're coming. Got lost on the track here for a moment.
Hey, Sean, who's that red Nissan that's getting past him right now?
That would be John Keefe.
There you go.
That's the right Nissan that I was trying to call before. Yeah, John Keefe getting through. Hideki Koivito right there with him, trying to also get his car through. One left to pass here as he tries to set up the move on Ben Laughter.
Koivisto doing a pretty good job switching from the Audi over to the Nissan this year. He's in 8th right now.
Yeah, I know he's in 8th, but have we talked about Rob? By the way, you gave me a new nickname for Robbo. Yeah, Robbo. Robbo right now putting on quite a show. He's got 10 seconds, going on 11 over Ben Laughter. Rob has secretly just kind of run away from the field here in this one, Nick.
He really has. All of these guys have really been close together. Even the leaders in Nissan, some of the guys we really expect to pull away, but that dirty torque car in the number 3 this week, Rob Olenek, has just dominated this GPO field.
He really, really has. Obviously, a good setup under the car has led to a good drive. He'll have those Nissans we were just talking about coming through. John Keefe, Hideki Koivito now starting to show up in his mirror. It looks like they may actually catch him in a good spot here as Rob heads down the hill, down towards turn 11. Got to get it turned in quickly and sharp. Don't spin the wheels. And you know what? They didn't pick up quite as much ground as I thought they would. And they're probably going to catch him somewhere down into turn 13, turn 14. So Rob's going to have to be on point here. This is that situational awareness you need when you're multi-class racing.
I'm sure Olenek would love to see a dirty torque racing sweep this week. Phil Lake is really putting pressure on Ardo Iamaki right now for the Nissan lead, but Iamaki just ran the fastest lap of this race.
Just goes purple, I know. Yeah, obviously, Iamaki knows that he's got pressure today. Sometimes we see Ardo kind of run away from the field, maybe either Ardo or Fabian Newbooth or somebody, but I think Phil in and around the lake has started to figure out this Nissan just a bit. Not that he's never run it before, but it had been a few seasons in the Audi before he made the switch over here this season. And right now, here in week 3, Phil has found the pace here at Circuit of the Americas. Just haven't gotten to know Phil over the past couple of years now. I got to tell you, Phil will be aggressive when that opportunity presents itself. But right now, we're seeing the determination and patience of Phil Lake today, who has been true to form here. He really, right now, dead in the tracks of our leader, Ardo Iamaki. I think we're going to get probably a last lap, or even maybe like two laps to go type of battle here out of Phil Lake, and that's when he'll choose to press, Nick.
Well, Phil Lake, he's one of the 3 drivers that has had podiums in both the first 2 races. So he's definitely looking, one of the 3 drivers for both classes combined, that is, but yeah, he's definitely looking. He would love to get that first win of the season.
When
he's trying some different lines, yeah.
Yes, experimenting, and he got a great run out of 1 right there coming down the hill. He's all up under the wing there of Ardo. Now this is where I get a little scared here. When you get too close coming down the hill and through the S's, you get in the wake of that car in front of you, you might lose a little bit of downforce on the front end of that Nissan.
Yeah, and you really, your vision is impaired as well if you get tucked right up underneath that rear wing of Iamaki. And you really need to have your wits about you going through the S's. One little bobble will ruin your race, like we saw on the first lap for a couple
Sure. Yeah, we've already seen with these little yellow sausage curves. So due to a car right there, and boy, Phil just misses it that time. Now you can actually hit the side of them and pick up a little bit of grip. That's one of the things you really got to work on. You can use these curbs to your advantage here as kind of a way to keep the car on track and away from the off limit, but you got to hit the side of the curb, not the top of it. And you get a nice hug from it when you hit it just right. But man, it's a hard thing to figure out in these cars here on the iRacing service.
Oh, Iamaki's got his hands full now because Phil Lake is there. Oh, Phil Lake with a little bit of a mistake there. It looked like trying to get the car wound up. He's going to get right back on the loud pedal, though.
Yeah, it may be a little bit too hot in there for Lake and has to jam on the pedal, loses a little bit of momentum to it, but that's okay. If he stays on it here, he's got a chance up the front stretch. May not be close enough, though, going into turn 19 here as they make the turn. Turn 20.
Down to 11, just under 12 minutes left. You can see Ardo really weaving the car all over the track, trying to break up that slipstream.
My buddy Soup would say he's weaving like a loom coming up the other hill there. You know, and we haven't talked about Fabian Gerber much, really. Gerber's, I'm going to use popcorn position again. Gerber's sitting back there. I got to wonder, is he lying in wait here for Phil and Ardo to mess this up? It very well could be. He's keeping just the perfect amount of distance to where if he needs to react, I think he's got plenty of time to do it and steal a win here from Phil and Ardo before this is over. But now just 11 minutes to go in this race.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a little bit of contact here up front between the 5 and the 2 cars. That could easily give Fabian Gerber his 3rd win of the season, 3rd in a row to start the series here in week 3.
Yeah, and they got to get around Sergey Serbin here. Sergey getting caught in a great spot, just moves out of the way, lets him go by. You see the speed that they're traveling at there, and Sergey stays on the hammer. It does make it a bit of an interesting turn for him. This is the challenge right here, this left-hander. You really got to get the car slowed down quick, and you got to get it to turn. Phil Lake with a great run there. Showed you a great line through. Loses a little bit of momentum, though, as they get to the stadium section here. Laughter. McCullough going to take the outside route up the hill. Going to try and cross him over here in one. McCullough hits the sausage curb. It brings the car up in the air. He's not able to get around him. They head down the hill.
He is still right on the rear of that number 12 car, though. Through the S's, he's got a big run.
He certainly does.
He's got quite a bit of traffic behind him, though.
McCullough having a strong showing here today at Circuit of the Americas.
Ryan Lang is that Nissan right behind him about to come through.
I'm sure we're having a great time on the Twitch stream today for Tanner McCullough. You know, we're on Twitch too, streaming right now as we speak. But boy, now we've got a traffic jam. Bunch of cars coming through here. McCullough still hot on the tail of Ben Laughter. And again, it's all about getting caught in the right spot.
Oh, boy.
Not here! Oh! Don Peak getting in really hot.
Johnny Bell, that other car involved, he actually gained a spot over Don Peak there. Oh, McCullough underneath Laughter. Contact made Laughter sideways. McCullough gives him the spot, though.
Good pizza drive in there by both of them. Both cars going to keep going. You're going to see McCullough here. He's just going to get the bumper to him.
Just ran out of room. That was kind of bound to happen at that rate.
Yeah, and McCullough knows right there. I mean, he's a smart driver. He knows right there if he keeps pushing, keeps his foot in the throttle.
Oh, and
battle for the lead.
and Lake just split McCullough three wide. They're side by side on the front stretch. About to get around Laughter.
No!
Still pretty wide. Here we go.
All three of them at the hill at the same time.
Phil Lake on the outside, Iamaki on the inside through the S's. They're going to have to get single file. I think Phil Lake is going to take over this lead.
Boy, and he's been working on that for a long time. The hard work starting to pay off just a bit. And I wonder, did the traffic help out a little bit there as they get by Don Peak? Don doing a good job of getting out of the way of everybody as they get through. Phil even starting to pull away just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah, Phil Lake and Ardo split Tanner three wide. That really helped him because Iamaki got stuck kind of boxed in.
I'll tell you what, it didn't dampen Tanner's spirit, though, man. He is still digging in all over the back of Ben Laughter. Here's the battle again for the lead.
Iamaki takes it back for now.
Phil's going to try and cross him over, and he's going to do it from the outside. He's going to try and hold it here. Oh, the car it got the grass. He just gets a piece of that or turf.
Sideways. Yeah. For Lake.
Gearbox problems there. Not able to find it and get it in gear. Can't find it, grind it. And right here, he has trouble getting it back into gear right here as the car went around. And I'm guessing that car came around because he might have dropped down one too many gears. Now it's Ardo Iamaki and Fabian Gerber up the front straight to the top of the hill.
How about Fabian Gerber catching Ardo Iamaki up here?
What did I say?
Yeah, I know. He's looking for his third win of the season here to start off the year.
I mean, listen, I'm not going to profess to be any racing genius here, but I know Fabian Gerber well enough. The guy's got the one on the car. There's a reason. This will be a great battle. To the death. To the finish. You know, and then, okay, so we know Rob Olenik's run away from it in the alleys, but McCullough, Ben Laughter, we're going to have this one right to the end. So we're going to have two amazing finishes here, both for podium spots in both classes. So these last 5 minutes, don't step away. This is a bad time to step away and do something else. Stay with us here live on the iRacing Esports Network.
Ben Laughter's really pulling a little bit of a gap right now over Tanner McCullough for that second position.
He's trying to put it away like a
They're
boxer
dove
in the
deep there.
15th round. He's throwing the big shots right now, hurting the body. Hey, you know, Tanner's been driving it awful hard. Car could be going away from a little bit here, Nick, as we approach the closing minutes of this race. Really, probably only about 3 laps left at this point. Maybe Tanner's got a little bit left here to go after and catch Ben. He can catch him. Can he get around him? And that could be the problem here for Tanner. Giving it all he's got today. Gonna love the screen time, I'm sure.
He's definitely abused that equipment just a little bit through these 40 minutes.
Abused it, but not destroyed it, so that's good. That's good. It keeps him in this race. I'm keeping one eye on the GTOs, one eye on the Nissans, and right now, that battle up front there, Imaki Gerber, not going away. Those two still latched together. Laughter winning this run up the hill. Again, it just looks like Tanner's car. He was on it just a moment ago, and then within a lap to 2 laps, it just looks like it's gone away from him here.
Yeah, exactly. He's given it everything he's got, but he's done that so many times today, too. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think he's going to be able to catch him, but getting around him is going to be a different story.
Reference my good buddy Soup once again. It's like like milking a rooster. So. Yeah, McCullough just no opportunity. Although a slight mistake from Laughter there. You saw him hit the sausage curb. He gets wide. McCullough not able to capitalize on it. He had a bad exit himself.
Yeah, these two guys both kind of overdriving the car right now.
Yeah.
McCullough trying to catch him, Laughter trying to defend everything he's got.
Yeah, they're definitely running it on the ragged edge. 2 laps to go. Iamaki going to come across the line first. Gerber filling up the mirror. Yeah, I think Gerber knows what's up here. You see a nice clean trip through. He wasn't aggressive at all. It didn't need to be. He knows he can get there to make the move. I think that's what we're waiting for here.
I think Iamaki knows what's up too. I think he knows exactly that he's got the #1 car behind him, and he knows he's going to be fast. He's got to expect it when he least expects it.
Not the only battle left. I do see Keefe and Coivito still battling back there in the field, but eyes focused up front for the moment. Riding on board with Gerber there. All right, so this is the final lap. Okay, well, we don't know yet. So tell you what, Nick, we're going to roll with this and see where timing and scoring puts us when we get to the line. But Fabian Gerber all over it now. Gerber starting to press. I think he's seeing the same thing we are. Time's running out, and, well, we're just now down into turn 15. We better get busy. Gerber looking for the opportunity. Iamaki not willing to give it to him as they head through the stadium section now, down into Turkey. Could this be it? We got 30 seconds left. No, we're going to go around one more time. Here we go. Clean off the turn. Ardo Iamaki going to come across the line and take the white flag.
It's going to give Gerber about 20 more opportunities.
Just 20. So that gives it Ben Laughter, Tanner McCullough. Right now, they're approaching turn 15. So they'll grab the white flag when they come around. So still one more full lap for them. We'll continue to focus on the battle here in the Nissans. Gerber still chasing Ardo Iamaki. If you're just joining us, you have missed an exciting one here at Circuit of the Americas in the Kamel GT Series, right here on the iRacing Esports Network. Ardo Iamaki starting to pull the gap on Gerber just a bit, up to his second. Iamaki on the hammer, digging for a win. Gets into the hairpin, no lockup, nice and clean. Now onto the backstretch, and this is where I think he has just won this race, Nick. Ardo Iamaki opening it up to now 2 seconds. Gerber left with little or no shot, short of a mistake here from our leader.
Yeah, Gerber looks like might have used up his equipment. Nothing he can do to catch Iamaki now. Iamaki, though, lots of more room for mistakes through the stadium section.
McCullough
so don't count Gerber out.
Sorry, McCullough coming down the hill one last time here. Final lap for these guys. He's chasing, trying to get this spot away from Ben Lafter. Been working on it most of the race. All right, back to the lead one last time here. Ardo Iamaki coming through turn 19, heading to the final turn for the final time. Ardo Iamaki, Finland's own and champion. Ardo to the line and your winner today in the Kamel GT Series, round 3. Circuit of the Americas, Beatty and Gerber, the great P2, and Phil in and around the lake, going to bring it for P3. Let's go back to that battle, Nick. Take it.
McCullough's got it side by side and past Ben Lafter. He didn't have a great exit, but on the backstretch, he made it happen somehow. Lafter must have been off the power or something, but McCullough's got the position now. Can Lafter charge back?
This is where Ben could get aggressive. Watch out, Tanner. Watch your mirror, buddy. Ben gets in hot right there into 15.
He's looking, taking a peek.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I just can't call it, man.
That's
He's going to the
too.
inside.
Rob Olenek also taking the checkered flag right now for the win. But oh boy, Lafter gonna dive it in deep. Can't quite get there.
Not enough. Tanner McCullough going to come across second place. Ben Lafter going to have to settle for a third. I got to imagine he's kicking himself right now as we go through this replay. We're going to watch, see how this pass happened. We're going to go on board with Ben Lafter here in the hairpin.
He must have gotten a really bad exit or something here.
Low penalty. Cut it. He went over that sausage curb, split the middle on it. He had to give it. He had to give it up. That's a crushing blow for Ben.
Yeah.
Gotta be gutted right now.
He tried to charge back hard, but that's a rough way to lose it.
Fight that hard to pick up a slow down there at the close. All right, listen, nothing slowing down about this broadcast, but we are going to take a quick break here on the iRacing Esports Network. You've been watching the Global Sim Racing Channel's presentation of the Kamel GT Series here at Circuit of the Americas. We'll be right back from a quick break. Race fans, welcome back to Circuit of the Americas right here in Austin, Texas. You've just seen the Global Sim Racing Channel's presentation of the Kamel GT Series here for round 3 here on the iRacing Esports Network. Let's go through the results. And winning this race today, Ardo Iamaki beats out Fabian Gerber there in the end. Great battle we saw. Phil in and around the lake, man, had a whale of a race, but makes a critical error late in the run, and he'll wind up finishing third. Nothing to go home crying about. Luis Emerton, Fabian Jungbluth round out the top 5, 4th and 5th there. Martin Kraytrick didn't really get a chance to focus on him much today. He'll finish 6th. John Keefe, who I misidentified once or twice, he'll finish 7th today. Hideki Koivitso with an 8th place finish in the number 16. Johnny Bell, that's a 9th place run for him. Don Peak today is going to finish 10th, and that's, Don, we'll take that. Good run, buddy. And we drop down into 11th. It's going to be Rob Olenek here. Tough day for Rob, but he had a great fight with Tanner McCullough. And, well, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to let you take it from here. I'm sorry. I forgot about the small field there, Nick. You take the winners here.
All right. Well, like you said, Olenek getting the win. Second straight win for him after Phillip Island last week as well. Really dominated today. But that battle between Tanner McCullough and Ben Laughter, that was really something. Laughter with, looked like a slowdown penalty at the end. He's going to finish 3rd in the Audis. Nick Mucanos behind them. He was battling pretty hard with them early, but then just lost the pace. And behind them, he in 15th overall. David Sanchez in the Nissan. He had a quiet day. Sergey Serbin behind them. Mark Shelton, another Nissan. Michael Haynes, Ryan Lang, Ove Trengrade. That kind of Nissan Audi all through there. That's your top 20.
Top 20 and most of the field. Jamie Hall, a 21st place finish. That won't sit well with him. Andy Kenworthy, 22nd. 23rd, going to go to Dave Peterson. Javier Lago back there in 24th. And, well, Stephen Warcup had that trouble on lap 1 that we documented and saw. But, now it's time to get a couple of interviews in, and we're going to bring in Rob, our new friend, Rob O, who apparently has been saddled with a new nickname. Rob, does that sit okay with you? Is Rob O okay?
I'm good with that.
You good with that?
It's
okay.
Easier. Yeah.
You've probably been called worse than that, right?
I've been called Rob O a lot, actually.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. Then, Rob, listen, you ran away from everybody. How'd you do that, first of all?
I got the pole. That was, I think, a big part of it today. I got away. I got a pretty good start, and then the guys behind me just started battling. So when they battled, I was by myself. It was kind of easy for me to just hit my marks, and I think those guys were slowed up from that.
Yeah, they were battling intensely back there, and you stayed away from it. You kept the car clean. Listen, we know drivers have mixed feelings about this track, but you got to feel pretty good walking away from this one today. It was a clean run for you.
I do like any win. The track is hard. I think it's just, it's hard to see apexes. It's a difficult track. I don't know what happened today. After a couple laps, I just felt like I got into the zone and I wasn't getting any incidents. I was hitting my marks, which has never happened to me here before.
Yeah, and we talked about that in the pre-race, the incidents, okay? Because I don't know if you saw my times from the practice session I was in this morning, but incidents I was just picking up off tracks everywhere in my Audi. How many did you wind up with? I'm just curious.
I got a third after the race was over, but I think I had 2 unless it counted that third one during the race.
Wow, so. Good on you, man. Good.
Not like practice. In practice, it was averaging like 1 a lap.
Yeah, I had trouble picking up my first official time lap. It took me a few runs at it, Rob.
Yeah. 3?
Okay, yeah, that's what Amjet's telling us. Yeah, 3 instances. So
that's because I can't drift. I was trying to drift, and I just can't do it.
Well, and the drift our drifting leader wasn't here today. Riley decides to sit this one out. So, hey, listen, Rob, congratulations. Great run for you this week. Surely we'll see you next week in the field, correct?
Yeah, definitely. All right. See you guys later. Thanks.
All right. That is Rob Olenek, our winner today in the Audis. And Nick, you've now caught up with Fabian Gerber.
Hello.
Hello, Fabian. Congratulations on your good run today. 2nd place. I'm sure you would have liked to start the season off with 3 straight wins, though. Quite the battle on track you had to deal with today.
Yes, of course, you always want to win if you have the chance, but this I knew this day wouldn't be mine because don't really like the track, and I had speed, but not I wasn't fast, so I knew it wasn't possible to overtake unless Arthur made a mistake, and he usually doesn't, so no chance today, and I ran out of fuel by the end, so difficult race today.
We saw you kind of sitting behind Phil Lake and Ardo in front of you battling. Were you just kind of sitting back there? Did you have the speed to catch him, or were you just waiting for a mistake to happen and then you could pounce on him?
Yes, I was waiting for a mistake, but when I realized I had a little mistake out of the hairpin, so he could attack me, but I let him go. I didn't defend because I thought he's fast enough to put Arthur under pressure, so things could happen. Maybe I had a chance to profit from a mistake or whatever. So I stayed in third until I saw that I had the chance to keep up. So then I fought back, so to speak.
Yeah, and you talked about not really loving the track. I think a lot of drivers would agree with you on that one. But
I
is it
love
just
it, to be honest.
Oh, okay. So the challenges that it kind of presents you with, do you have the issues kind of through the S's dealing with Audi traffic we saw, or the stadium section? What makes this so difficult in the Nissans to get passes done?
On it's usually how open the turns are. Maybe if you have space to go around, then it's always easy. But with this constant left and right on this track, it's difficult to find the gap to go in between without dive bombing them. So you sometimes have to wait really long time behind them.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you looking forward to Laguna Seca next week? Do you think you can get back in victory lane there?
I hope. It's again very difficult to overtake, but I like the track and it's a 1 hour race, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be a winner at 10. But I try, of course. I try as hard as I can.
All right. Well, we'll be looking forward to seeing you there. Hopefully, we'll be able to talk to you again. Looks like you might have another strong run coming up.
I hope so. Thank you very much.
All right. That was Fabian Gerber. Sean, I believe you are currently catching up with another driver in the Audis.
I am. Mr. Ben Laughter.
Mr. Sean Ambrose.
Ben, hey, buddy. Great race today. You manage a podium. Off tracks have been the theme. You might be the worldwide leader in them today. I'm hearing you and your teammate. How'd that work out?
No, so Tanner there, I had like 20-ish. Tanner had something like 30 and finished right in front of me. So I think I really win because he's a dirty, dirty, dirty scum of a driver. Nah, it was a hell of a competition.
Boy, it was.
I choked at the end. It was fabulous, though. I need to apologize to Ove and Nick. I went 3 wide and kind of overcommitted early on, but I think that was my only significant error throughout the whole race, except for the one that cost me second.
Yeah, and so who won there? The mirror? Did the mirror beat you?
Yeah, mirror driving. I was under pressure, and I was like, just don't screw up these next 300 corners, Ben. And I did.
And so great job by Tanner of not spinning you all the way around there in the hairpin. What was going through your mind as that's happening? You knew he was close.
Oh, just another day at Coda, you know. I mean, it's, when you've got 9 carbon copies of La Source scattered around a track, then you're going to have incidents like that where people are on different lines that are equally fast, and you're going to get together. So I was surprised that he and I were able to race as close as we were with really only the one tap.
Yeah, that one, and again, Tanner had a choice there. He could have stayed in the throttle and just looped you all the way around and kept on going. He backs out of it. You both get it straightened up, and you get back to some great racing. And boy, we just love seeing that here in the Camel GT series. You guys, every week in, week out, man, there's always something to watch. And can't thank you enough, Ben. Another great result for you here. It's going to work really well for you in the points championship. And next week we head to California. What do you think?
I think I'm going to spin Tanner around there and put him in the wall.
Okay.
Or not.
I wanted a little uncomfortable silence there in that. Okay, that was intentional. I laid out on you there for a second, buddy. Hey,
No,
listen, Ben.
Laguna Seca is great. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you guys next week.
All right, and we will see you there. That is Ben Laughter, our third place finisher today in the Audis. And well, I think you're going to wrap things up with my old friend Phil in and around the lake. I can't even get his nickname out anymore there, Nick.
Yeah, Phil Lake, he started the season off with a third at Road America, a second at Phillip Island, his home track, kind of, not really, namesake. So I'm sure you'd love the stats to read 3-2-1, but instead they're going to read 3-2-3. But another podium here today at COTA.
Yeah. Yeah, I really thought that I was on for the win, or at least, still in the fight for it. There was a couple laps to go, and Arto was putting up a good fight. Yeah, pretty disappointed. Like you said, I was kind of hoping that it would have gone third, second, first, but the podium's okay. But right now it feels like a loss because of where I was.
We saw you battling hard with Arto, and we saw maybe a mistake made there was just couldn't find a gear after you lost it, or couldn't quite get back up to speed. And that's when you lost second position. What happened there?
Yeah, I think Fabian was right behind anyway, and yeah, I just lost it on the brakes going over the curb, and then my main concern was to not hit either of the two guys as I was sliding, and then then I just couldn't get it to go into gear after that. So I lost a bit of time, and then I kind of gave up. I knew there was like a 7-second gap, I think, with a couple laps, and so nothing was going to happen. So just brought it home from there.
Yeah, we saw all of the traffic kind of get gaggled up a couple times in the S's today. We also saw the equipment in the Audis really get used up. Was that the same situation in the Nissans where your tires really a big factor today, going away late in the race?
Not for me. I don't know about the other guys. I did have a few. Once I'd overheated them with the slide, and then obviously pushing, sort of, I wasn't like calm after that, and pushing a bit hard, and then you start to slide around once you overheat the tires. But the actual wear, I think, is okay. I haven't really checked it, to be honest. We haven't done that much racing here this week.
So we're at COTA this week, and we go to a bit more of a traditional track for Kamel GT and IMSA, classic IMSA racing next week at Laguna Seca. Are you looking forward to that? Competition, I'm sure, is going to be pretty high for that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long time since Kamel's been to Laguna Seca, and yeah, really looking forward to that one. Try and get that first place that I'm itching to get.
All right. Well, hopefully you can keep up at least the string of podiums going on. Hopefully we get to talk to you again there.
Yeah. See you guys.
All right, Nick, and that was Phil Lake, and a great run for him today. Comes up just short. That win in the Nissan is coming. I know it. Could be next week. We'll see. Nick, great race today. Thanks a lot, buddy. Hey, we want to thank the iRacing Esports Network for bringing us on board here to the network and letting us stream all these global sim racing channel presentations to you here through ISN. You know what? If the subscribe button you're seeing on your YouTube screen right now is red, well, that means you haven't subscribed to them. Click that real quick, and then when you're done, hop over to the Global Sim Racing Channel YouTube page. Give us a sub too. We'd love to have you on board. Lots of racing coming your way over the next several months as we travel through the spring and into the summer. But now I'd like to thank all the companies that provide the software and hardware for all of these global sim racing broadcasts that you see. We put them here on the screen for you. And that June Lalonde person down there, I know she makes some wonderful music, a tremendous artist, provides it all for us here at the Global Sim Racing Channel. Look on the screen there for how to get a hold of more of her great work. I want to thank Nick. Nick, thanks for being at my side today, buddy. I really appreciate it. I want to thank Amjad, who carefully guides us through these broadcasts and nobody else in this business, to be quite frank. And the great Dougie Beard, he's our camera guru, and you can't have him. So there you go. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, including upcoming races, you can find it at our website, globalsimracingchannel.com. You know what? Follow us on social media because we got plenty of updates for you there. You'll always know what's going on if you follow us there. Start with Twitter, at GSR Channel. Easy way to follow us. Everybody's on Twitter. Facebook, old people like me are on Facebook, I know, but you can still find it's a global sim racing channel. And if you go over to Instagram, listen, we're trying to grow this profile on the gram, folks. We're putting up clips for you. We want to see you over there. Come join us, GSRC_gram. Don't forget to head over to our YouTube page, like I said, and hit that big red subscribe button. It's red. You're not subscribing to us. We want you there, okay? Don't miss a moment here on the Global Sim Racing Channel, and you won't if you subscribe to us on YouTube. Next race, folks, going to be at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Yeah, that's a mouthful. Or you can call it Laguna Seca, whatever you choose. But that's going to be next week, April 6th. Same bat time, same bat channel, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, we want you to watch the upcoming races we have for other series listed on your screen, so check those out. Mark them down on your calendar. But until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.